Next up is, I think, a real interesting matchup in 3AA, and that's Weddington and Charlotte Catholic. Now, Weddington comes out of the Southern Carolina, conference, same place at Marvin Ridge, the team that Catholic struggled with last week in a 15-12 ball game. Weddington I have had the opportunity to see this year. By the way, Max Preps is predicting this to be a 43-30 ball game. Weddington got here by beating Cox Mill 42-6 last week. First of all, I don't think I'm going to be surprised if Catholic scores 43 points on Weddington. Weddington's got a very, very solid defense, and Coach Carson he, as I mentioned last week, his teams play great position football, so the kids are always in place. You might beat them, get into space, and have a kid that can start scooting, but their kids are in position to be able to make plays and shut big plays down. Their offense the night that I saw them was not very explosive. In fact, most of their offense was generated from the other team, mistakes, fumbling a ball inside the at the 5-yard line, 2-yard plus punt, basically giving Weddington the ball in the red zone. I was told that was because Weddington's quarterback was out. So for me, it's going to be hard to call what can Weddington do on offense against Catholic. I've seen Catholic several times this year. They've got, in my opinion, the best running back in the state at any age. In Hood, the kid can, in my opinion, can be playing. I made a comment on the board last night about, and did a little bit of a comparison to Todd Gurley, who I think was the best running back to come out of North Carolina last year. And I think Hood right now is ahead of where Gurley was last year. Gurley, of course, is starting down at Georgia. Physically, I think that Hood could play college football right now. So that's going to be a load for Weddington to have to tackle. Coach White mentioned last week that high school kids are kind of scared to tackle the guy. He's a monster. He looks like a man. Marvin Ridge, however, kept him out of the end zone. Hood did get a lot of yards, and ultimately it was on Hood's back that Catholic came back. I don't know that Weddington can hold them down to 15 points. My whole thing about this game is going to be, can Weddington put points on the board? Weddington beat Porter Ridge earlier in the season, was in position to win that conference. They're a good, they are a good football team. This is not going to be an easy game for Catholic at all, but I think that Catholic will perform a lot better than they did this past Friday night. Weddington does throw the ball around a little bit.
Oh, okay.
So, that's one of the places that you hurt Catholic, is to throw the ball around if you can throw the ball. Olympic ran the ball on Catholic. If you got the ability to run, you can probably put some yards up there too. But I'm thinking that this is a Catholic's ball game. I'm thinking this is going to be more like a 35-14, 35-21 ball game.
I'm not necessarily sure that I agree with Catholic winning by 3 scores. I mean, if they struggle to Marvin Ridge, which I think Weddington beat them, the regular season finale. I'm not saying that's going to be indicative of how this game's going to turn out. But if Catholic does not improve, I mean, I wouldn't put it past Weddington to pull off the upset like they did against South Point last year. But I do see Catholic stepping it up, because I've seen them play. I saw them totally beat Ashbrook like a drum earlier this year. Hood himself, Hood alone had 306 yards and 3 touchdowns against Ashbrook. But Ashbrook's one of those teams, if you punch them in the mouth, you pretty much got them right where you want them. So, but I do think Catholic's going to step their game back up, and but like you said, it's not going to be easy, and I think Weddington's going to put up a fight, and I kind of see like a 35-21 game, and the game that I watched Catholic play, it was 49-21, but one of those Ashbrook scores came off a bad punt snap, which facilitated a Green Wave score. Other than that, they've shut them down. Now, I know they've beat some very quality opponents like Olympic pretty handily, and then beat Country Day, and I forget who else was on their schedule. That
Actually, they lost Country Day.
oh, they lost the Country Day, but
I was at that ball game.
but I'm sure they didn't lose to them by much.
No, it was an end of the game. It was a last minutes win for Country Day.
So I'm going to stick with my score, 35-21 Catholic, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's any closer.
Well, good point you brought up mentioning Weddington beating South Point last year in the playoffs. That means they've got experience in shutting down a heavy run team, because no one runs it more than South Point. We pretty much know that. I think they will take that experience into Catholic, which will be a very, very fun environment. If you've never been Weddington fans, it's an awesome place to watch a football game. Dale mentioned that Weddington will spread you out and throw the ball a little bit. I remember in the past with Coach Harden, when he was at Weddington, they threw the ball around a lot. So I'm sure they still have some of that capability over there to spread it out and throw it, which we all know that gives Catholic problems. So you got a team that's experienced in shutting down a heavy run game, and you got a team that can throw the ball a little bit. If they're healthy with their quarterback, Marvin Ridge held Catholic to 15-12. They put the blueprint out there. So Coach Carson at Weddington, very good defensive coach. I think he can copy that blueprint, and I'm going to take Weddington in the upset.